Hello, Sacramento City College students. Let's talk about scholarships. How many of you have not applied for a scholarship through SEC before? How many of you think you need a high GPA to earn a scholarship? How many of you know when the deadline to apply this academic year is? These questions and more will be answered in this video. Hello, my name is David Fabianar, and I'm a member of the Honors and Awards Committee and faculty in the Communication Department. I've been conducting scholarship workshops the past few years and really wish I could do this in person so I could see your faces and answer questions in real time. But alas, if you have questions, I'll leave my email address, and at the end of the workshop, please email me. The purpose of this video is to give you a look behind the curtain of the application process. I have served on the scholarship selection committee in the past and want you to benefit from my experience by offering you some tips or best practices for applying for a scholarship here at Sacramento City College. More than 475 scholarships are offered each year. Based on your application, you will be matched for as many as you qualify for. Last year, the college awarded over $200,000 in scholarships. That's 332 awards given to 189 students. So being selected for a scholarship may be easier than you think. The first thing you need to know is the time frame. You can apply from January 14th, 2022 through March 4th at 11:59 p.m. And how do I get to the site, you may ask? Well, 3 easy steps. Type in hub.losrios.edu. And then click on the Los Rios scholarships and fill out the application. It's as easy as that. Before we get started on the application, I want to address some frequently asked questions when I conduct this in person. Obviously, we're not in person, so I'll try to anticipate the questions you may have. There are top 5 frequently asked questions that I've included, and you're looking at number 1. How many units do I have to have completed to be eligible for a scholarship? While at Sacramento City College, you need to have successfully completed 6 units and be currently taking 6 units in the present semester. The next frequently asked question is, do I need a high GPA to qualify? And the thing is, well, no. Many scholarships are not based on GPA. There are donors who want a variety of criterion to be filled, and it can be school scholarships. So we've had a few scholarships where if you went to a specific elementary school, you're eligible. Or there's another one for a specific middle school, and you're eligible. You have fulfilled the criterion. There's field of study scholarships, for future teachers or aspiring engineers or future attorneys. And then there are specific scholarships there for you. We look at need as a criterion. When you fill out the application, you will have an opportunity to express the degree of financial hardship you face. And this is a criterion the committee really considers. Let us know about your situation. There's no shame in needing money to be eligible or to enable you to pursue your higher education. And so, you can see how the GPA is not the only criterion that is considered. Another frequently asked question is, how many scholarships can I apply for and be awarded? And you're going to like this answer because there's no limit, so you can win more than one scholarship. Question number 4, I am undocumented or an international student. May I apply? And yes, you may. And the last question that is frequently asked in these scholarships, in these workshops is, am I allowed to apply for for other Los Rios college scholarships at American River or Cosumnes or Folsom Lake? And yes, as long as you meet each college's eligibility requirements. And here at Sacramento City College, you have to complete 6 units and be enrolled in 6 units presently. So, on to the application. Okay, so when we get to the application, obviously you're going to put in your name, your preferred email address, and some of this demographic information, and what you're pursuing. Also, what is your planned area of study? There's a variety of options here. And then we're going to get to some other demographic data, or activities that are outside of the classroom. So for instance, are you volunteering in your community? Are you a student athlete and involved in student clubs? Are you a member of Phi Theta Kappa? As well as, are you an EOP&S student or DACA student? There's a whole host of areas that may apply to you. Are you a MESA student? Are you a 2+2+3 student? A single parent? Are you a veteran of the U.S. Armed Forces? And then you get down to these 4 major questions that the committee will really take a look at. And it begins with your educational goals. So in these workshops, I explain to students that they should write mini essays in response to these following questions. Let me kind of center that. Okay, and these essays, you might create a Word doc or a Google Doc to write these. It enables you to edit them for future scholarship applications. And also be sure to visit our writing center. And right now, during the pandemic, you'd visit them online for help if you don't feel confident in your writing ability. But with question number 1, draw us in with a narrative. What are your educational goals, your past, present, and future goals? Please describe your educational goals in detail. For instance, how did your interest in that field develop? Why do you want to get a college education? What has your college experience been like? The clearer the picture, the better. Even if you are unsure, identify a goal that you've been thinking about and that is in line with your career goal. So for instance, I would like to earn a teaching credential and teach English at the high school level if you've remotely been thinking about teaching as a career and as an educational goal. And speaking of career goals, let's move on to the second question. So what are they? Give it heart. What do you want to do? And again, you're creating a story that you want to stand out to the committee. Give it some emotion. Explain what motivates you. So for instance, some students, have written, I want to be a nurse because I was so impacted by the care that my loved one received and how unbelievably helpful they were to our family. Or I want to be an engineer because as a child, I was captivated by the building of the Bay Bridge because I grew up in San Francisco. Or I want to be a civil rights attorney because all of the injustice that I have witnessed in the legal system, I really want to be able to do something about. So, give us some, what motivates you, your why for being here. And then question 3, how are you paying for your college education? Are you a first-generation college student and no money was put aside for you? Are you the first of 5 kids or the last of 5 kids and there's no money left for you? Are you depending on a Pell Grant or just working far too many hours, which makes it difficult? Just explain your story. There, like we talked about before, there's no shame in needing money for your higher education. But, and this is something we definitely consider. And then the last mini essay, if you will, it's really talking about extracurricular activities, really focusing on, your community involvement and leadership potential. And that's something you're going to talk about. Have you been involved in the campus or in the community in a leadership capacity? Is there anything that you volunteered for that could have been paid for but did for free? Or have you coached teams, soccer teams, basketball teams, robotics teams? Did you volunteer at your kid's school? Sometimes leadership, there's, as a father of 4, I know that parents definitely are leaders. And, if you are a parent, you can talk about the decision making you have to make, the boundaries you have to enforce. So, think about all the things that you have done, and volunteered for, whether it's for your church or whether it's to serve food for the homeless, etc. So, you know, really put some thought into it and, write out these mini essays. And I think that if you feel like you need a little bit of help, be sure that you take advantage of our resources here on campus and contact the Writing Center. So one more thing I'd like to cover is that there are other opportunities that I want to make sure that you know about. And these opportunities are not through Sacramento City College, but definitely exist, and we want to encourage you to do your own research. We want to make sure that you recognize that any scholarship that costs you money is probably a scam. But here are some organizations that offer scholarships, in addition to those that are offered at Sacramento City College. And I'm going to scroll through slowly so that you don't get motion sickness. And if you have any questions, if you'd like to email me about this list and have me send it to you, I'd be happy to do that. So good luck in your pursuit of a scholarship. I hope that this video was helpful. I know it is a lofty goal to complete a workshop in a 15-minute video. Please email me, and you can see my email down here, fabian@scc.losrios.edu. And again, my name is David Fabianar. And please take good care of yourselves and have a great semester.